is Benjamin Okeze Carlo, representing the good people of Bende Federal Constituency. I am from Abia State. Arise.
From the hallowed chambers, his voice resonates crystal clear.
You say you shared money recently, and I represent the constituency, and there are 360 of us, and all of them are saying we are not feeling the impact.
He's the unmistaken voice of Undi Bende and the image maker of the House of Representatives.
Swept away houses and roads in communities like Mpa, Umimenyi, Uzita, and Bende. Mr. Speaker,
he's a committed, courageous, articulate, and deeply impassioned lawmaker with the plight of his constituents.
Joining me now on the political segment is Honorable Benjamin Kalu, who's the spokesman of the House of Representatives.
Ben Kalu's mandate gives you first-hand information on the activities of the member representing the good people of Bende Federal Constituency at the House of Representatives, Honorable Benjamin Kalu, as well as his position on national issues. Ben Kalu's mandate airs on Flow 94.9 FM, Vision Africa 104.1 FM, and Real 99.1 FM every Tuesday by 10:30 a.m. Ben Kalu's mandate, gains of quality representation. Yes, it is the third week in the month of June 2021, and it's another week to highlight the activities of the member representing the good people of Bende Federal Constituency, like we do it every week right here on this platform, whichever radio station you're listening to, because this program runs on several radio stations in Abia State. Welcome to Ben Kalu's mandate. It's about the National Assembly. It's about the House of Representatives. My name is Michael Oni. Well, the National Assembly, as you know, is Nigeria's legislative arm of government, and one can rightfully say that the sovereignty of the people resides in the legislature. And the National Assembly is established under Section 4 of the 1999 Constitution. For those that do not know, it is vested with powers to make laws for peace, the order, and good governance of the Federation with respect to matters in the exclusive legislative list. Last week I listed the list, of course, I listed those items on the list, the exclusive legislative list, from arms to aviation to currency to drugs and poisons, mines and minerals, passports and visas, posts, telegraphs and telephones, prisons, railways, ammunitions and explosives, bankruptcy and banks, citizenships, copyright, patents and trademarks, creation of states, customs and excise duties, defense and military, immigration, insurance, labor, trade or business names, powers of the National Assembly and the privileges and immunities of its members, and regulations of political parties also. So that's the long list, especially if you want to question your representative. Those are the lists you should ask questions on. What are you doing, or what bill have you raised concerning some of the items on the list? Welcome to Ben Kalu's mandate once again, where we highlight the activities of the member representing the good people of Bende Federal Constituency, Benjamin Okeze Kalu. He's a member of the 9th National Assembly, the House of Representatives. He also speaks for the House of Representatives because he's the chairman of the House Committee on Media and Publicity, the spokesperson of the House. Bridging the gap between the Parliament and the people is Ben Kalu's mandate. Last week, we started the scorecard, of course, People's Edition of Ben Kalu's mandate. Both chambers of the 9th National Assembly, as you know, were inaugurated separately on Tuesday, the 11th of June 2019. And it was last week Friday, 2 weeks now, that it was 2 years. And of course, the journey into the 9th National Assembly. We looked at the journey of the representative Benjamin Kalu, looking at some of the dividends of democracy he has attracted to the good people that he's representing at the National Assembly. Of course, occupying that seat, a first-time lawmaker in the House, and 2 years and counting. Of course, last week, if you followed, we looked at that. But today on the program, we are still continuing the People's Edition of the program, the representative is still taking a back seat, and of course he yearns for people. He desires to hear from you. That's the reason we're doing this, so that we can articulate and put together all your suggestions, your questions, your opinions. It will definitely help in future engagement on the floor of the National Assembly, and of course at home in Bende Federal Constituency, looking at some of the issues that we're experiencing in Abia State and also Nigeria. Security also a part of it. I know that will top the agenda. Very soon I will be throwing the lines open, but before I do that, we will be listening to him. He highlighted some of the things he was able to do, and of course when I return, I throw the lines open for you to comment, and of course let us know what you think about the present House of Representatives. Has the House lived to your expectation? Well, that's a big question we are finding answers to this morning, and definitely it will help in putting things together in the nearest future. It is Ben Kalu's mandate.
In the spirit of transparency and accountability, in the desire to have the public, the citizens as stakeholders, I present to you as the spokesperson of the House of Representatives of the 9th Assembly, Representative Benjamin Okezie Kalu, Chairman, Media and Public Affairs, and the member representing Bende Federal Constituency. The journey of the 9th House of Representatives at 2. This is an up-to-date report on the activities of the House of Representatives. We believe that we need to carry you along, and you need to know what we've been doing with the mandate that you gave to us for these 2 years. You are aware that 2 years ago you elected us to represent you at the 9th House. Having assumed office, we immediately, under the ethos of nation building, a joint tax, set out to work to return the polity to a system of checks and balances that thrives in an environment of mutual respect and harmony of government against the usual acrimony and rancor. As we mark our 2nd year in office, it is in this spirit of transparency, openness, partnership, and a sense of responsibility to the public that we render a summarized report on our activities. As we mark this 2nd year in office, many questions have been out there. How far has the journey been so far? To address that question is to first refer us to the guidance specified in our legislative agenda, which we use as our roadmap. We immediately set to work addressing critical issues that bordered on healthcare delivery system, economy, security, agriculture, food security, sustainable power, environment and climate change, human capital development, social development, good governance, house reforms, the national budget reforms. We set out to do this using all the legislative tools of intervention at our disposal. But as you know, In parliamentary practice, the need of the nation is always graded and scale of preference drawn up, thereby prioritizing on few to place on the front burner before the others. The security of our nation, which is the primary purpose of government, happened to be one of those. Therefore, insecurity was a major concern. Given the current security challenges faced by our nation, insecurity remains a key metric to analyzing our performance as a legislative assembly, and as one which we take with all sense of seriousness, as one which we place on the front burner. Whereas banditry, herdsmen crisis, kidnapping and killing have spread through the geopolitical zones in Nigeria in the last 2 years, we have continued to support the executive and security agencies in the fight against insecurity. We have also held them accountable to the Nigerian people where necessary, ensuring especially that they are constantly challenged to the highest standards of delivery, as expected by those who have elected us, the wishes of the citizens. From 2019 till date, it is important to note that a total of 98 resolutions out of 98 motions have been passed by the House on insecurity in Nigeria. Beyond this, also, the leadership of the House and the leadership of the various relevant committees went beyond staying within the four walls of the chambers to visit the various hotspots. That includes Katsina, Borno, Zamfara, to interact with Nigerians who are out there who have been impacted heavily by this insurgency. In a culmination of concern about killings and other criminal activities in the country in 2020, the House invited Mr. President to address members on the security situation in Nigeria. While the President's willingness to address the members was thwarted at the last minute, the concerns of the House prevailed on the executive to change the service chiefs as an added strategy, added energy, added force in the fight against insurgency and insecurity. The House has also severally engaged the National Security Advisor, the service chiefs, the paramilitary chiefs, the IG of Police, the Controller General of the Nigerian Customs Service, and the Managing Director of Nigerian Communications Satellite in sections to address insecurity. Like I said, insecurity remains on the front burner because it concerns all in the country. That was why a special section known as the Special Summit on National Security was organized by the House from the 26th of May to the 29th of May, where major stakeholders were invited to deep dive on national security issues. The interaction produced recommendation, which is being packaged for Mr. President. But beyond that, the House as well, on the 9th of June, came up with about 9 new security bills, which was presented on the floor on this same date. And these bills include the Armed Forces Amendment Bill 2021, the Police Acts Amendment Bill 2021, Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps Act 2003 Amendment Bill 2021, the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps Act 2007 Amendment Bill 2021, the Economic and Financial Crime Commission Act Amendment Bill 2021, the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offenses Commission Act Amendment Bill 2021, Custom and Exercise Management Act Amendment Bill 2021, the ECOWAS Convention on Small Arms, Light Weapons and Ammunition Ratification and Enforcement Bill 2021, and the National Security Agencies Act Amendment Bill 2021. These were the 9 bills that were presented as a result of that engagement at this special summit. Finally, in a series of actions to promote police reform as well, the House passed the Revised Police Act 2020 and the Police Service Commission Reform Bill 2020. All these borders on security as well. Still on that, the House also took a step to encourage and motivate a very gallant policeman that has worked so hard in the police force, caring. He was given an award to be able to encourage other ones who are working with him and those who are saving our nation to do more.
Well, you heard the spokesperson of the House of Representatives, Representative Benjamin Okezie-Kalu, highlighting some of the achievements of the 9th National Assembly 2 years into the life of that arm of the Assembly, of course, the House of Representatives. So it's stock-taking time, and we started last week with the People's Edition. Of course, we are continuing this week. You know, democracy is all about ensuring popular participation and the control of the process of the government, and you are part of it. Of course, in ensuring that we all come together and for a better Nigeria. Now, since all the people cannot participate and individually control their government at the same time, they entrust these rights and duties to an elected few, among them those who function as lawmakers. So one of the reasons we have this program is for you to articulate some of your thoughts, and it will be taken back to the House of Representatives, of course, for further debate. So what do you make of the 2 years of this particular House of Representatives, of course, and the representation of the lawmakers on national issues? Let's hear from you this hour on Ben Kalu's mandate. 0808 182 6949 or 0811 605 2949. You can also drop messages on 0906 510 8289. All right, glad to have you join us. What's your name? You're live on radio. What's your name? All right, that didn't pull through. Glad to have you join us. What's your name?
Hello, good morning.
Yes, you're welcome.
Yeah, good morning, Honorable.
The Honorable is not here at this hour, but he's going to respond to your questions on the next edition.
Okay, my question goes this way. When the House invited the presidency or the president to appear to address Nigerians, he refused. What was it? Why he refused following the invitation of the House? That's my question.
All right. Thank you for your question and for sharing your thoughts with us. Good morning. Welcome to Ben Kalu's mandate.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, you're welcome.
It's Ikechukwu calling from Umaya.
All right, Ikechukwu.
Okay, I want the honorable member to push the bill so that the presidential election can be zoned throughout the geopolitical zone.
It can be
That's
what?
Number one. Can be zoned among the six geopolitical zones.
Okay, can be zoned. It should be in the constitutional rotation.
Secondly,
okay.
We cannot be running a constitution where we have a constitution based on equity and egalitarian society. And the other side of section of the country, they are operating a Sharia law that violates human rights. Sharia law should be abolished in our constitution. You understand? And I want you to third one, I want you to introduce the right for self-determination any group that want to leave Nigeria, is unless they do again, not be fight. Let there be self-determination. Like what is happening here, everybody is agitating to leave. Yoruba are trying to leave, Middle Belt are trying to leave, and they are threatening to fight. Let there be a self-determination, a referendum, that anybody who wants to leave Nigeria can peacefully leave without any problem.
Thank you for
Finally, the National Assembly should condemn Nigerian president taking railway to Niger when he has not gone around throughout the whole Nigeria. It's aberration. Finally,
you're done with your point anyways. You said finally. Anyways, those thoughts have been articulated. You spoke about the bill for the president's seat to be rotated. It should be in the constitution. Abolishment of Sharia law, saying it's against the Nigerian constitution, and some other issues you spoke about. Well, together, the lawmakers, they constitute what is known as the legislative arm of government. And that particular government, a lot of persons do not know that they're also answerable to the people. We, most times, turn our attention to the executive, but forgetting that we have lawmakers also representing the people, of course, opinions, just like one of the reasons we have this program. Keep those calls coming. 0808 182 6949 or 0811 605 2949. Glad to have you join us. What's your name? You're welcome. What's your name? All right, seems to have issues with the lines. So every nation, yes, glad to have you join us. Okay. Every nation, be it Nigeria, be it Ghana, even outside Africa. Hello. Welcome.
Good morning.
You're welcome.
My name is Akano calling from Umoya.
All right, Akano, you're welcome.
Yeah, please, I wanted to ask the Honorable the issue of this agitation, mostly that the people of the South are agitating for. What are they doing this agitation? Them that are in the House of Representatives, what are they doing about it? That's my question.
All right, thank you for sharing your question with us. Glad to have you join us.
Good morning. It's me now. Finally, it's Kechuku talking. Hello?
Yes, go on. You have 30 seconds.
National Assembly should send their delegate to come and visit Southeast and see how police are expecting money our road, whether this road blocks. Is it normal? And how they are killing innocent people on the name of their unknown government. As they are visiting other areas that are ravaged by insurgents, they should as well constitute their national delegate for National Assembly, both House and Senate.
All right, thank you for sharing your thoughts with us, Ikechukwu. So the 9th National Assembly was inaugurated on the 11th of June 2019. I told you that Representative Femi Gbajabiamila is the speaker, and Ahmed Idris Wase, the deputy. Now, they came up with what they described as joint task agenda. If you remember then, aimed at bringing members of the House, irrespective of party affiliation, into one fold. Have they been able to achieve that? 2 years down the line, has the House remained one? That's a big question, in spite of the differences in opinion anyways. Glad to have you join us.
Hello?
Yes, you're welcome.
My name is I'm from Anambra.
All right, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Okay, glad to have you join us. What's your name? Seems I have issues with lines. So there is this belief that some ranking members of the House may have left out of some committees, probably as a way of whipping them into line. And yes, welcome. Well, 2 years after the inauguration of the Assembly, what do you make of the present National Assembly? I'm talking about the House of Representatives. Keep those calls coming. Of course, since the inception of the Assembly, the Speaker and the leadership of the House They also made it a point of duty to intervene in some matters of state and to ensure that government do the right thing and do something about intervention. Remember, during the resident doctors' strike, we also discussed it. The advent of the COVID-19, some drastic measures were put in place, and of course, the coronavirus also affected the sitting of the House because, some robust debate on issues and bills. Many of these bills and motions were considered very straightforward, and members were they able to express themselves. So this is some of the points I believe will help us. We highlight so that it will help the House of Representatives, of course, in the nearest future to definitely find a way in achieving their agenda. I'm talking about the 9th National Assembly, the House of Representatives. Yes, glad to have you join us.
Good morning, Mike.
You're welcome.
Reverend Moses,
Okay, Reverend.
yes, I'm worried about the closure of the borders. Here, let the honorable now, let him and his colleagues there meet the president and ask him to release or open all the borders, because untold hardship has been inflicted in Nigeria, and the naira going too high, 500 and something, is worrisome. So this is my suggestion. I want the honorable to do something about it, like the Cotonou border, Togo border, and these countries are suffering. They are suffering because those go here from Nigeria, helping them. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Reverend Moses. All right. Just before I step out of the studio now, we've been able to highlight some of those things you, of course, advised on the way forward, of course, for the House of Representatives. The president's refusal to honor the invitation by the House, of course, you said the Honorable should explain more on that. And someone proposed a bill that a bill should be proposed that the seat of the president should be zoned. All right, interesting. Then the abolishment of Sharia law, the agitation, the closure of the border, just the last caller, Reverend Moses, and the economy, of course, talking about the dollar and the naira. Anyways, those are your thoughts. Definitely, it will help us in subsequent editions of this program. Of course, it will help us the direction. Thank you very much for joining us this week on Ben Kalu's Mandate, the program where we highlight the activities of the member representing the good people of Bende Federal Constituency, of course, at the House of Representatives. He also speaks for the House. He's the spokesperson of the House, the chairman of the media and publicity for the House. Of course, thank you very much once again for joining us. The program returns next week. My name is Michael Oni.
Is Benjamin Okeze Kalu, representing the good people of Bende Federal Constituency. I am from Abia State. Arise.
From the hallowed chambers, his voice resonates crystal clear.
You say you shared money recently, and I represent the constituency, and there are 360 of us, and all of them are saying we are not feeling the impact.
He's the unmistaken voice of Undi Bende and the image maker of the House of Representatives.
Swept away houses and roads in communities like Mpa, Umimenyi, Ozita, and Bende. Mr. Speaker,
he's a committed, courageous, articulate, and deeply impassioned lawmaker with the plight of his constituents.
Joining me now on the political segment is Honorable Benjamin Kalu, who's the spokesman of the House of Representatives.
Ben Kalu's Mandate gives you first-hand information on the activities of the member representing the good people of Bende Federal Constituency at the House of Representatives, Honorable Benjamin Kalu, as well as his position on national issues. Ben Kalu's Mandate airs on Flow 94.9 FM, Vision Africa 104.1 FM, and Real 99.1 FM every Tuesday by 10:30 a.m. Ben Kalu's Mandate, gains of quality representation.